Hello, friends. We all have challenges in our lives, but there are others in the world whose lives are more tough than we realize, yet they are still coping. Isn't this strange today? This is the story of Paul Alexander, who has been inside a machine for nearly 70 years and is unable to move. He lived his entire life inside this machine and gave it an iron lung. It is mentioned, but why is this old man within this machine? Friends, Paul was just 6 years old when he contracted polio. He was playing outside his house when his health began to deteriorate. This is the year 1950. This is only the beginning of the period. Polio had caused widespread destruction throughout America. Hundreds of children, including this year's Paul, fell victim to polio. Paul was sent to Portland Hospital in America. Paul was in poor health. Paul was unable to comprehend it. Iron lung is the name of the machine in which I was immediately placed. The person is made to lie down in this machine, and air is then delivered to the person's lungs, such as during lunch. The person's face is outside of this machine, while the rest of their body is inside it. The doctor discovered that paralytic polio had damaged Paul's lungs. There was only one option to keep Paul alive, and that was to have him lie down inside this machine, but one of those 5 doctors, Passion Clear Nami Man, had done the polio vaccine work, but polio changed Paul Agenda's life for good. Friends, for the past 70 years, Paul Alexander has been laying within his machine, paralyzed and shaking his head. Paul could have spent his entire life lying like way, but he never lost courage. Paul spent the next 18 months inside this contraption. Many youngsters were maintained in this equipment at this hospital. Paul only has these children. Friends noticed that after 18 months, Paul was freed from this machine, but his body began to paralyze from the neck down, his breathing got difficult again, and Paul was placed back in this machine. What did you gift him? Who would be his friend for the rest of his life? As I previously stated, Paul did not lose courage, and he graduated from high school while living inside this machine. He did not attend school and instead lived within this contraption at home. I used to study and was admitted to Paul University. According to Paul, whenever his clients came to see him, he met them in this machine. This court also used to ride in this contraption. During this time, Paul was repeatedly taken out of the machine. He used to spend a long time outside of this machine, but it became difficult to breathe during calls. Today, after his machine is cleaned, Paul must stop breathing because he cannot exist without it. This step is completed fairly rapidly. Otherwise, Paul might die. Friends, Paul does everything inside this machine, including brushing his teeth, eating, and resting. There are other reservoirs placed inside this contraption, through which Paul is frequently caressed. Paul enjoys reading books and can even paint while watching a movie with a pen. He dislikes watching television but enjoys spending time with his pals. You can see this man's courage, and his mouth. He wrote a complete book while holding a pen and lying down in this machine. This book is based on his personal story. He claims that he wrote this book to instill in people the spirit of courage, no matter what the pudding is. Paul is the only man in the world who is present in this machine known as iron lung. If you liked this video, please like it. Very intriguing videos. To see, subscribe to Mysterious Stories and enable the bell button to receive notifications when I post new videos.